Today I want to talk about 5 movies I want to be seen made. Hey, what's up you guys? Imperial Nick here. I know it's been a couple of weeks, school just started, and I've been trying to get my schedule on track. So this is coming out on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, and hopefully we'll get back on track with my weekly posts. If you haven't seen, Lumberjack Nick posted a pretty cool video about practical effects last week, and I will link that one right up there. Today we're going to talk about 5 movies that I want to be seen made. Most of these are historical movies, but I think that they would be really awesome to see, and they would be really awesome movies that I want to be seen made. And I'm not talking about like some cheap B movie, though I love B movies. I mean, these movies deserve the Hollywood A-list movie setup, and I hope that one day we can get that. So, with me and my notebook, we're going to go over the 5 movies I want to be seen made. So at number 5, I want to see a movie made on Qing. At her height of power, she controlled 1,800 ships, or junks. They were Chinese ships, so they were called junks. They weren't necessarily junky, as she was able to fight off foreign mercenaries with those. But I think that a movie based at the height of her power, it doesn't necessarily have to be her rise to power, though that would make a pretty interesting movie too. Maybe a little bit of that in the beginning, but then at the height of her power, while she's fighting Dutch and British mercenaries as well as the Chinese Navy, would make a really awesome action-packed pirate movies. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies are getting a little overdone. I'm kind of tired of the whole Caribbean British ship. I want to see Qing fighting all of these mercenaries and the Chinese Navy as it's coming after her and doing piratey things, especially because she commanded a fleet. Again, of 1,800 ships. This is a real person. I just got done reading all about her. I knew a little bit about her from some other YouTube videos that I've watched, but I read a bunch about her, and oh my god, she sounds absolutely amazing. It would be an awesome role to see a badass Chinese actress playing this fucking character, just going whoop ass on all of these other ships as she's going around doing piratey things. And the coolest thing about her is when she finally did surrender to the Qing Dynasty, out of the 17,000 men under her command, she really only lost 300, most of which were to exile and being imprisoned, though some of them were killed, and she eventually went into the salt trade. Again, that would be a boring part of the movie, and I'm not interested in that. I am interested at her, at the height of her power, 1,800 ships, fighting the Chinese Navy, fighting Dutch and English mercenaries, fighting the English East India Company. I mean, it would definitely be a different take on the pirate movies, and that is number 5 on my list. Number 4 is about Mad Jack Churchill. Now, if you haven't heard about Mad Jack Churchill, he's probably one of the craziest World War II warriors that I can talk about. Now, let's talk about Mad Jack Churchill. The man earned his name because during amphibious assaults, he would walk up and down the beach with a sword and an English longbow while playing his bagpipes. Yes, yes, yes. He was in the Scottish regiments during WW Dose, this time it's personal, and he carried a sword and a longbow. Now, Mad Jack also has the last confirmed kill with an English longbow in combat, which happened all the way up in WW Dose. He used it to signal an ambush on German soldiers. Mad Jack Churchill carried a sword, carried a longbow. I know World War II movies can be kind of overdone at this point in time, but if you took a character that's that out of control crazy and fighting for us, the Allies, I mean, and doing like crazy shit like that, a sword, a longbow, bagpipes, several invasions. He fought not only in the Italian campaigns, but also in Burma. Now, the interesting thing about Mad Jack is he got mad at America for dropping the nukes on Japan. Not because we dropped them on a civilian population, but because he thought the war could have been extended another 10 years if we hadn't stepped in and dropped those 2 atomic weapons on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. If we picked one campaign, I think that would be better than a montage of several different missions. Probably pick the Italian campaign, because it seems like that had the most interesting and the most craziness going on in it, but I think a movie of any sorts of that would work out perfectly fine, as long as we picked something where it would be full of action, full of awesomeness, full of Mad Jack Churchill playing his bagpipes. Now, number 3. This one, again, is British history, explains the Union Jack on my shirt, and that was the Battle of Saragari. Now, the Saragari battle, the Saragari was a village in Afghanistan. At the time, it was still India, and Afghanistan has been known as the graveyard of empires. The United States has been there almost 20 years now, so can confirm, but Saragari was a village, a signal post village, set up by 21 sheiks in the British Sheik regiments. Now, if you don't know anything about sheiks, sheiks are awesome. I'm gonna link a video that's not on our channel all about sheikism. The sheiks are awesome. They fought in all major British conflicts while India was a colony, and they're terrifying. I would not want to be an enemy of the sheiks. But anyways, I digress. So the Sheikh signaling post stood between two forts in Afghanistan, and they would signal information back and forth to the forts because the forts could not see one another. Well, the 21 Sheiks found out that there was about 10,000 Afghan warriors coming to the village to stomp them out of existence. Now, the Afghan warriors did try to get them to surrender, promising them riches and power, but the sheiks held fast, and the 21 sheiks killed almost 1,000 of the Afghan warriors before being overrun and killed. They fought to the last man, and every single person in that unit earned the highest award available from the British military, post-mortem, of course. But I would like to see that. It's a lot like the movie about the Siege of Odessa in the Congo, where the Irish troops, actually, to be 100% honest, the Siege of Odessa was on this list until I found out there is a movie about it, and it's on Netflix, but it's about a group of Irish UN fighters who fight off a bunch of mercenaries in the Congo. None of them died, but they held off a bunch of them. It was pretty cool. But that was actually going to probably be number 5, but they made a movie about it, so I had to find a backup. But anyways, the Battle of Saragari would be a fantastic movie, and it would add some diversity into Hollywood. Like I said, I want a Hollywood, a big budget, a Hollywood movie, and the battle lasts for several hours, so it is plausible to make an entire feature-length action film about the sheiks at the Battle of Saragari and their last stand, where 21 of them fought against 10,000 Afghan warriors. Mind you, they were using obsolete British weapons because the British took away the good weapons because of the Indian mutiny that had happened several years before. Number 2 on my list is Lady Death Lyudmila Pavolchenko. I can't speak Russian, obviously. She was a Soviet sniper in WW2. Again, we have some World War II movies on here, but instead of focusing on the Americans or the big picture, I'm trying to focus on some of the other crazy stuff going on in the war. She was amazing. After being handed a Mosin Nagant rifle by one of her fallen comrades during the Siege of Odessa, she went through and killed 187 Germans by herself. Now, this movie could be swapped out for the White Death in Finland during the Winter War, but I picked her because I think the Soviets are highly misrepresented in World War II media, and the fights that they did after the Siege of Odessa and her 187 kills. She went to the Siege of Sevastopol and got over 100 kills while training other snipers to do what she did. So anyone who tells you that women didn't have combat roles in the Second World War know nothing about the Soviets. After the Siege of Sevastopol, she actually went to the United States and Canada as kind of a publicity stunt to try to get the Allied forces to open up a second front on Germany, which we all know culminated with Operation Overlord, or D-Day as we know it today. And after the war was over in the 50s, she met with Eleanor Roosevelt when Eleanor Roosevelt visited Moscow in the Soviet Union. I think that the Siege of Odessa would be the best part of this, her baptism of fire, as she said it, when she killed the first 2 Germans. I think if we started out just slightly before that, while she was still a university student, and then jumped into the siege and her having her baptism of fire, and then actually becoming the badass sniper that she ended up being in history all the way through her little love story. And I would have a love story in this movie because the love story is in fact real, and her husband, who was another sniper, was killed by mortar fire. But I think that might have been a thing of fake, because if you had 2 badass snipers have like a baby, then they would be like a super sniper baby, and that would be terrifying. That'd be a cool movie though, Super Sniper Baby. That'd be a really cool movie. So last but not least, number 1 on my list of movies that I want to be seen is not an action movie in any way. It is not a science fiction or a historical movie. It's the Community movie. I really, really want to see the Community movie. 6 seasons and a movie. Come on, Dan Harmon. Come on, everybody. Let's get this ball rolling. There's always all these rumors flying about a Community movie being made, and I want to see all the characters return. All of them. Even Childish Gambino. They all need to be in the Community movie. I really hope that can be made to happen. Well, except for Chevy Chase, because his character's dead, but that's okay. Chevy Chase is kind of an asshole. Back to my point though, I want to see the Community movie, and Dan Harmon has to be involved with it. I don't want a gas leak year again. Well, season 4, no, we don't need a gas leak year. Dan Harmon has to be on board, and I don't know what they would do. I hope that there's some animation in it. I hope there's some claymation stop motion in it, and I don't know really what I want. I have my hopes up that it would be absolutely amazing, but I don't want to put too much of my hopes on it because whenever we do that, we're disappointed because it's never what we imagine in our head. So I'm going to do my best to not imagine in my head what the movie would be. But I know that if Dan Harmon's involved and he gets all the actors from Community in it, it'd be a pretty badass movie. So there you guys have it, my list of 5 movies that I want to see. Again, I'm sorry for the hiatus from the last few weeks. School just started, so I've been running a little bit behind. Hopefully I'll be back on track here soon. Don't forget that Lumberjack Nick posts on Wednesdays. I post on Mondays, though today is a Tuesday, and on Fridays we kind of have a mix-up. We're still figuring out the schedule for the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know right when we upload, you guys, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye!